This is Kevin Mail, and today we're drinking some Baxter Brewing Stowaway IPA. And they are out of Lewiston, Maine. They've been around since 2011, and their claim to fame is they are the first New England brewer to can all their beers. Now, could not find a date on this anywhere, so I don't know if they date it. There's a little smudge on the bottom. Maybe it was a date. Really, the only thing I got to go on here is it's 6.9% alcohol by volume and 69 IBUs. So we'll go ahead and give this a crack and give it a pour. Get a little bit of foam coming up there. As always, if you like the reviews, please subscribe. We're always looking for new friends, and go ahead and leave comments because we like talking about beer. Not as much as we like drinking beer, but we like talking about beer. This is a fairly unaggressive pour, but we are getting quite a bit of head out of this. I'm going to, in fact, run out of a little bit of room in the glass. So let's take a look at it and see what we got for color. It is a pretty dark orange, hazy, a fair amount of carbonation. I got bubbles streaming up through it, not crazy, but a fair amount. Got 2 fingers of head, and the head is, really, I'd say tan more than any other color. So it's an off-white head, a tannish head. So, and I am getting some aroma coming up. On their website, they did say they dry hop this twice, so we should have a fairly pungent aroma. So let's go ahead and try the aroma. And typical IPA. First off, I get the malt background. I get a little toffee caramel. I got some pine. I got some citrus. Yeah, definitely got some like fresh cut pine. A little bit of orange juice. And like I said, that malt background. It's actually reasonably subdued for something that was dry hopped twice. I would have expected a little bit more in the way of the aroma being a little bit more forward. Let me go ahead and give it a taste. And it doesn't disappoint. It's pretty much right down the line of what you'd expect, what we consider a typical IPA these days. I mean, up front, I'm getting a malt background, some sweetness, some caramel. The 69 IBUs are definitely building on the back end. It finishes quite dry, and it finishes bitter, and that heavy bitter on the back of the tongue. That West Coast style bitter prick. In the middle, I get a hint of the pine, get the orange juice, yeah, there's grapefruit in there too. But again, everything's fairly laid back on this. It's a decent IPA, reasonably drinkable, but it doesn't really bring to the table the flavors that you are expecting from a really top-of-the-line IPA these days. It's a little more subdued, a little more laid back. Yeah, I mean, you do have the bitter. So, what I think of it is, if I was out somewhere and this was really the only IPA that they had, I would drink it. I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. However, if I was out and I can think of a couple of dozen other IPAs, if they had, if they had a Dogfish Head 60, Ballast Point Sculpin, some of the local guys, Broadbrook, their Hopstillo, trying to think, White Lion and their Pale Ale, which is not really an IPA, but their Pale Ale. I mean, there's just lots and lots of other IPAs that I would drink ahead of this one. So, I guess that I'd say score-wise, it's not undrinkable. It's not a terrible beer. We'll give it a 77 out of 100.